The Mandalorian Season 2 is over, and wow, what a season. I have videos actually talking about all these episodes individually. Well, some are individual, some are kind of bunched together, all just short, quick, they're called quick thoughts videos, all on my channel. I'll link a playlist down below and up here, I think it's up there. But today I'm gonna stop and rank all the episodes of Season 2, or the chapters, whatever you wanna call it, from my least favorite to my favorite, although I think all these episodes are fantastic. Getting straight into it, coming in at number 8 is episode 2, chapter 10, The Passenger. Now again, I will say I loved all of these episodes. This one had some great stuff. It wasn't as memorable as the others. Like, I had to go through IMDb and look at all the stills, but I will say the whole spider scene that really made me think of Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets was great. And it did feel like a filler episode, but I still think it was a great episode. Coming in number 7 is episode 3, chapter 11, the Harris? Something like that. Not like Ed Harris, but like H-E-I-R-E-S-S. Yes, I probably pronounced it wrong. And I think this episode was great because they introduced some characters from the Clone Wars. Now, I won't spoil anything in this ranking for those who haven't seen it, but trust me, I highly recommend it. They introduced a really interesting, fun character from the Clone Wars. I haven't even fully seen it. I've seen like a few episodes from it, but I still think that was really interesting. And there were some cute little Baby Yoda things, although I could say that about every episode. And all the fight sequences were exciting. Again, the only reason these ones are below is just because some of these episodes are some of the best of recent memory of all of TV, in my opinion. Coming in number 6 is episode 1, chapter 9, The Marshal. Now, honestly, when this one ended, I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be one of, if not my favorite of the season. And I think that proves how good this season was, because this episode was amazing. I remember sitting down, watching it like after a week of it being released, and I was just like, wow. It had that awesome scene at the end with the sandworm, and when it stretched to the IMAX ratio, my mind was just a little bit blown. I love that whole sequence. Coming in number 5 is episode 4, chapter 12, The Siege. Now this one was really exciting, not only because it was memed on the internet with the whole jeans guy in the background, which they did edit out, which kind of sucks. I think that's funny. But this one was really interesting because Carl Weathers actually directed it. And you know, like, I love seeing something like that, someone come back, and because he had one of my favorite scenes in the entire show, everyone talks about it, do the little hand thing. That was in, I think, season 1. And you know, his direction here was great, really strong once again, and his character too wasn't in this season all too much, but really that episode, I don't know, there's something so special about all these episodes. Coming in number 4 is one that you'd expect to be higher, and honestly this proves how much I love all these episodes. Coming in number 4, as I said, is episode 5, chapter 13, The Jedi, and well, it has that character, and if you don't know who that character is, well, you must not have internet access, and I don't know how you're watching that video, and I think the introduction to that character alone puts it in the top half of the season. It was fantastic. That whole scene, the certain person who played that character was also amazing. I'm really trying not to spoil it for those who haven't seen it, but wow, this episode, it blew me away. I was shocked of how good it was. Coming in number 3 is episode 7, chapter 15, The Believer. People probably won't have this episode up that high, but I thought it was fantastic with Bill Burr coming back. He had one scene one episode, I'm pretty sure, in season 1, and like, that's not really a spoiler, so that's why I'm okay with saying it. If I heard that, which I did, I judge a spoiler. Side note, I judge a spoiler on would I be pissed off if I heard this, because I've had movies spoiled for me, like Force Awakens, and I was pissed when I learned about that certain death in that movie. I don't even consider that a spoiler, but let me know what you think down below. But this one was awesome. It had some fantastic scenes, especially the whole face scan thing that turned into something different. No, it had some fantastic scenes, especially that face scan scene. Again, not spoiling anything, and I think that some acting, especially from Mandalorian himself, Pedro Pascal, was also great, with some stuff about his peripheral vision. There was a whole post about it, and if you've seen the episode, you for sure know what I mean. But Bill Burr, please come back to the show once again. Coming in number 2 is episode 6, chapter 14, The Tragedy, and the title there said it alone. I was shocked of what they actually did with this episode, because it had such a ballsy ending, and honestly some of the best fan service I've seen with a certain character here. I think that scene, although of course because it's Twitter, people were like, oh, I didn't like this, I loved it and I was smiling so much here. It was a cute episode, it was an exciting episode, and it was very adventurous, I'll say. That's a good word to describe this episode, and really, they really went for it with that ending here. It left a perfect cliffhanger, and I loved it. But coming in at number 1 is episode 8, chapter 16, The Rescue. And if you haven't checked out my quick thoughts video on it, I highly recommend doing that because that was easily longer than any of the other videos I did. I'm gonna say now, again, this may be one of my favorite episodes of television ever. I think it's fantastic. The certain thing that people were complaining about on Twitter, I didn't have a problem with it, and I think that reveal blew me away, even though I had some hint of it coming. And this whole episode, even up until that point, was so tight and well done. The action blew me away here. I loved, there's so many like little details here that I loved. It was emotional. I teared up. I know almost everyone cried, but I teared up for sure. And I have no problem saying that Baby Yoda, oh, he's so cute. And Pedro Pascal, what an actor. That's all I gotta say. What an actor. This is easily my favorite episode of this season of the series, and again, maybe an all-timer. But tell me your ranking of The Mandalorian Season 2, and you can throw in Season 1 in the comments down below. I actually have a ranking of Season 1 up on my Instagram from around a year ago, whenever it ended, because I did watch it, I just didn't do any videos on it like this one. And did you enjoy the Quick Thoughts video? I can't wait for Season 3. I'm really excited with what they're gonna do with it. It's kind of funny that I didn't even realize until now that I have so much Star Wars thing. I have Star Wars, this is normally in the background, Star Wars, and then these two I just added because it was more Star Wars, but Star Wars. There's a lot. I love Star Wars, but thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Over and out.